Hello everyone and welcome to Doom Bible. We are just 2 months away from experiencing what might be the best Doom game yet. The hype couldn't be higher, and that's why you are going to enjoy this video. In this episode, we are diving into the critical events that set the stage for Doom: The Dark Ages. The story we're about to unravel now takes place just few days before level 1 of the game. Thus it serves as the perfect introduction for the upcoming game. Be sure to check out our previous episode, where we explored how the Dark Lord created Doom Guy in 1990 and ordered his minions to cast him 2 million years into the past, turning him into a weapon of revenge against the Maykrs who had once sealed him away. The events that led to a catastrophic invasion of Earth, where Doom Guy tragically lost everything. Let's get started. It was around year 2 million BC when Doom Guy was thrown into Argent D'Nur. There, the Night Sentinels seized him. He was dragged before the arena of Sentinel Prime, where his fate was decided. Not as a savior, not as a survivor, but as a tool for war. Deemed worthy, not for his suffering, but for his ability to fight and die on the front lines of the holy wars waged by the Sentinels. Imagine his torment. He lost his family, his people, everything he ever knew. He endured an endless nightmare, facing millions of demons alone, his body torn apart over and over again, yet never given the mercy of death. And when time itself cast him away from his homeworld, stripping him of even the last remnants of his past, the Sentinels did not offer him solace, no redemption, no peace. Only another war. Doom Guy never had a chance to grieve, never a moment to rest. No one truly knows his pain. There you have it, I have answered your question. At this point of time, the Khan Maykr didn't know about Hell, as she lost all knowledge of it when the father's essence was stolen by Samur Maykr, disconnecting her memories from those of the past Maykrs. If the father's essence had not been stolen, the Khan Maykr would have remembered Dark Lord's face and recognized the identity of the Outlander. But she did not know him, nor did she remember Hell or the distant past. She was fascinated by the Outlander's tales of demons and Hell.
Dress his wounds and bring him to us. I want to know more about the others he speaks of.
Yes, Your Grace.
Perhaps something about his words felt very familiar to her, stirring a curiosity she could not explain. Also at this point, the Dark Lord had accomplished 2 out of 4 objectives of his final plan. He had successfully created his identical self, the Destroyer, whom we know as Doom Guy. Second, he had successfully brought him to Argent D'Nur and convinced the Khan Maykr to construct the divinity machine. The 2 remaining objectives to complete his plan were as follows. First, the Khan Maykr had to eventually decide to place the Outlander into the divinity machine, as she continued to test the Sentinel warriors one by one, falsely believing that by doing so, she would eventually detect her prophesied arch-enemy. Second, the Dark Lord needed to find a way to convince the Doom Guy to fight against the Khan Maykr. Both of these objectives were incredibly difficult. For the first, the Khan Maykr was convinced that the prophesied destroyer would arise from the Argenta people, not the Outlander. For the second, the Dark Lord had no idea how to turn the Doom Guy against the Maykrs. It was a completely messed up situation, as Doom Guy was fixated on hunting demons, not the Maykrs. As the Dark Lord waited for the Khan Maykr to send the Outlander to the divinity machine, a catastrophic event occurred. The secret portal used to transport the Doom Guy from Hell to Argent D'Nur remained open. A horde of demons launched their first ever invasion against Argent D'Nur, aiming for a complete genocide. Thirsty for total annihilation, Hell invasion began. The devastated Argenta people suffered their darkest days in history, losing thousands within hours of the assault. Yet despite these losses, the Sentinel warriors stood strong. They weren't powerful enough to win outright, but they barely managed to halt the demons' advance, sacrificing themselves to keep the demons away from the cities. During these bloody days, the Argenta people discovered that the Outlander was a miraculous warrior, proved stronger and more capable than any Sentinel. They recalled how he had warned them about the demons. They had dismissed him as a fool, an outsider unskilled with a sword, but he proved them wrong. They must have felt guilty for underestimating him, for failing to take him seriously. Thanks to the Doom Guy, the Sentinels gradually regained control over the fight, giving them a glimpse of hope. They began to secure victories in battles they had expected to lose. They even managed to capture live demons and learn about the magic of hell energy. Despite the Doom Guy's heroism, many still distrusted him, as he had arrived mere days before the demons attacked. But King Novik silenced them, declaring him worthy of selection. Now came the moment that redefined the destiny of the Maykrs. The Khan Maykr and the Order of the Dig, advancing their understandings of hell's essence, discovered that it could extend life and even stop their transfiguration. Finally, after all these billions of years of despair and fear of transfiguration, the Khan Maykr saw a path to salvation. Interestingly, she and the Dig also realized that the longer the war continued, the more Sentinels perished, the more demons would return with even greater hell essence to harvest. This was the turning point. From this moment onward, the Khan Maykr and the Dig no longer sought victory. Instead, they hoped for a prolonged war with higher casualties, ensuring a greater supply of hell essence. The seed of betrayal had begun to grow. After all these years of him being disappeared, Samur Maykr at this time likely learned of the divinity machine and the strong alliance between the Maykrs and the Argenta people, watching from the shadows. He likely did not yet know the machine's true purpose, that the Khan Maykr had built it to detect the prophesied destroyer. She had told no one of her hidden intention, claiming it was meant to purify the warriors. Samur must have also witnessed the war on Argent D'Nur. This was why he revealed himself at this precise moment. He was the only being left in this universe who knew the ancient past and the origins of hell, as he was far older than the Khan Maykr. He must have been shocked to see hell waging the first true war in eons. But his greatest shock was yet to come. When he arrived on Argent D'Nur, he saw a familiar face. A man he had known very well. He could not believe his eyes. Davoth, the Dark Lord himself, fighting alongside the Sentinels against hell? What in the living hell is happening? He must have thought. He must have felt crazy for believing the Dark Lord in his physical form, siding with the Maykrs and fighting against the demons. He must have felt insane for even thinking it. How could the Dark Lord, unsealed and in his physical form, be standing with the Maykrs, his supposed enemies, waging war against demons? A completely illogical and messed up situation. But Samur, being clever enough, he quickly realized that something was amiss. This was not the same Davoth he had known. Likely he had enough knowledge about the secrets of Project Eternal, which we theorized in the first chapter, in the first episode. He understood that it could potentially create an identical being to Davoth. Knowing that the Doom Guy was essentially Davoth, possessing the same power and potential, though not the same memories and consciousness, he could be the ultimate weapon against hell. This explains his words in the Ancient Gods Part 1, when he tells the Slayer,
I knew you set foot in our world. I knew you could become to us.
If you enjoyed the video so far, please hit like and subscribe. During these difficult days of war, a disaster struck. Hell forces infiltrated Taras Nabad with shocking ease, bringing ultimate doom upon the Argenta people. The Sentinels never saw it coming. They had believed they had hope, but not today. All their hopes were shattered. How did Hell infiltrate Taras Nabad so suddenly? The likely reason was that the Khan Maykr and the priest had stopped taking their defenses seriously. By now, they no longer cared to protect the people. They stood to gain more Hell essence from the rising casualties. The invasion was devastating. A mighty titan arose to finish Argent D'Nur and reduce it to history. It was at this moment that Samur became convinced the Khan Maykr was a failure. Her leadership would doom the Argenta to extinction. With these thoughts, fate played into the Dark Lord's hands. He swiftly took advantage of this moment. With the Dark Lord's ability to influence anyone susceptible to corruption, and because Samur was already partially consumed by transfiguration, the Dark Lord influenced him, planted a compelling idea in his mind. Why not use the divinity machine to purify this Davoth lookalike and make him even more stronger, to unleash him upon Hell? In his haste, Samur took the Doom Guy to the divinity machine, placed him inside, and activated it, accomplishing the goal that the Dark Lord planned for so long ago, making a physical contact between a shard of his body with his identical counterpart, the Doom Guy, awaking his divine power. In that moment, the man who entered was no longer the one who emerged. For the first time ever in history, the universe trembled. All living things felt the presence of a godly being descending upon them. No one had felt such overwhelming power since the days of Davoth and the Father. What came out of the divinity machine was not a man, nor was it a mere copy of Davoth. The one who came out was the God of the universe. He was the mighty Davoth himself, his second coming, reborn as a new being with a different consciousness, unbreakable and incorruptible. He spoke no words. Wielding his godly crucible in his hand, he stepped before the Titan, and with a single strike, he slaughtered him like a sheep. The demons trembled, witnessing their doomsday unfold in real time. They had not felt such divine terror since Davoth's rule. For the first time, the hunter became hunted. He was their predator, and they were the prey. Argent D'Nur was fated to fall that day. But with the awakening of the God Slayer, history was rewritten. Argent D'Nur was saved, and the Dark Ages has begun. Thanks for watching.